Welcome to module number 7, conditional statements. We're going to cover a single statement in this module called the if statement. It's a very important statement and you will use it a lot during your Python programming career. Now, before we get into the details of an if statement, I want to talk about control flow. So this is an important term that you need to be aware of. It stands for the order that statements get executed in a program. So there is a specific way in which Python statements get executed, and it's quite simple. You probably already know this. The statement at the very top of the program, that first statement gets executed first, and then the line below it gets executed, and so on until you get to the very last line of the program. So that is the default control flow for a Python program. Starts at the top, goes one line at a time, and ends at the bottom. So there are different ways to control this flow. We don't always have to go directly from top to bottom one line at a time. And just to make an analogy to a book, there is a flow that we read sentences in a book. So books, we also start at the very top line of the page, and then we read one line below that until we get to the bottom of the page, and then we go on to the next page. Now in English, we do read from left to right. Some other languages are read right to left, but there is this way or this control flow for books, just as there is for programming languages. So for the Python programming language, we go from top to bottom one line at a time. So you can change the order of execution, which means you can change the control flow of a program, and there are two main ways of doing this. One is with a conditional statement, that is this if-else statement that we will learn in this module. In an upcoming module, you'll learn about looping statements, such as the for and while loops. This is where you repeat execution of the same code in a loop. So summarizing control flow in Python, lines of code are executed beginning at the top one line at a time and go all the way to the very last line. Now you can change the order of execution with either conditional statements or looping statements. Now we're going to learn about conditional statements. Conditional statements are a feature common to all programming languages. They dictate which lines of code are to be executed based on the outcome of a condition. So there's going to be a condition. It's going to evaluate as either true or false. If it's true, one set of code will be executed. If it's false, another set of code will be executed, or sometimes just nothing will be executed if it is false. So to help introduce this topic, it might help to look at some real-world conditional statements where either one thing or another will occur. So here are three very simple examples. So here's one, the first one. If it is raining, then soccer practice is canceled. Otherwise, it will occur. If you are over 18 years of age, then you can vote. Otherwise, you cannot. If you roll a 5, then you win. Otherwise, you lose. So games, in general, there are lots of conditional statements in games where either one thing happens or another thing will happen. So another term for conditional statements that you'll see is conditional branches. So the word branch, just think of as a tree branch where you can go on either one branch or another branch, but not both. So here is a diagram depicting a conditional statement with two branches. So in this case, the condition is going to be some question that evaluates as true or false. So is it raining? If it's true, yes, it is raining, then this will be the outcome. Will follow this branch over here. Soccer practice is canceled. Otherwise, if the answer is no, it is not. If this is false, then soccer practice occurs. So you can think of either one or the other will happen in a conditional statement. Okay, so that is an introduction without any code into conditional statements and control flow.